up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica and I am the owner of Balayage Portland. I have been a stylist for 10 years. I've been working for myself for 4 years, booth renting. I just opened up a salon, and I figured since we're all quarantined, we're all climbing out of our skin, this is a great opportunity for you guys, especially as new booth renters, to be thinking about how you're gonna build your clientele when you get back behind the chair. So I'm giving you my top five recommendations if you are a new booth renter or you are just a booth renter that can't seem to build, in terms of how to build your book jam-packed and become a six-figure stylist. So if you guys want to continue watching this, hit like, hit subscribe, and let's roll right into the video. All right, my number one rule for building a full book: make sure your content is on point, okay? Just take a look at your IG. If you are unclear as to whether or not your IG is attracting new clients, have a friend look at it. Think about, your client acquisition. Is it high? Are you getting a ton of new referrals? So first thing first, make sure your IG is on point. Every image must be on point, okay? People are way too good at hair or way too good at photography right now for you to be mediocre. If you're gonna be mediocre, you're gonna be edged out by your competition. Recently I rebranded myself. I went to Behind the Chair and I came back and I rebranded myself to use a black backdrop. Now, I had been thinking about doing this for a couple years, but I wanted to be on brand. I didn't want to be boring, but I was using the quality of my result because the background was so busy. Like, you couldn't even see the hair half the time. So find a signature look, stick to your signature look, and make sure that your hair is photographed with as much quality and good presentation as possible, because that's number one. That's what's going to hook your clients. So start there. Number two, and this is hugely important. You guys cannot ignore this. This is a very crucial part of becoming a six-figure stylist. Price your services based on demand, not ego, okay? You cannot have high price out of the gate if you have low demand. It is simple economics. Bottom line, if you do not have a high demand, you cannot outprice your competitors, especially if you are new in your area. People do not know you. They are not checking for you. Drop your price, which is going to increase your demand, okay? It's going to attract a ton of people. So say like you are pricing a balayage at like $200, okay? And you have very little demand, so you're getting one client a day. All right, cool, you made $200. So say you bring your prices down to something less expensive. Cool, now you have 2 clients a day, okay? Say you even did it at $150, okay? You have 2 clients a day, now you made $300. Yeah, you had to work a little bit harder, but right now the end goal is you're gonna have to work hard, because guess what? You need to get your exposure up, which in turn is gonna get your demand up, which then can drive your prices up. Also have to think about the disposable income in your area. If you are a service provider that is in a, maybe a corporate economy, cool, keep your prices high. If you are in a service economy, especially during a downturn in a quarantine, you cannot you can't overprice your services, okay? Because you are in an area where young people who want to come see you have lower disposable income. You cannot be pricing what you would price in an environment where you have a lot of corporate wealth. Point blank period, okay? So pull your price down. Remember that it's temporary. If you see 2 clients a day at a lower price, cool, guess what? That could lead to 4 referrals. If you see 2 to 4 clients a day because you dropped your price, now you have anywhere between, why can't I do math, 10 to 20 clients a week, which could result in 40 referrals. So it's a snowball effect, okay? And once you get that demand high, boom, increase your prices, and you're good to go, okay? That's how you become a six-figure stylist. Number 3, make sure you're photographing every client that you have, okay? Especially if you only have 1 or 2 clients a day, because that's gonna fulfill goal number 1, okay? Create as much content as you can by any means necessary. So, say you have 1 client a day, cool. Make sure you're taking the time to flawlessly photograph that work. There is no need for you to be rushing through the photography of that 1 hair that you did, okay? Because then what? You have nothing to lure in more clients. So you do 1 head of hair that day, make sure it's bomb. Be meticulous. Treat them like royalty, okay? So that that client can maybe one, refer you, and number two, if nothing else, you have bomb content from that one head of hair that you did, and you can promote it on your Instagram, which is gonna attract more clients. That brings us to number 4. As an entrepreneur, it's not easy. Just because you go and you rent yourself a booth does not mean that people are going to be seeking you out. If it was that easy, everybody in commission salons would jump to the booth rentals and they would be making mad cheddar, but it's just not gonna work like that. Client acquisition is the most expensive or sweat equity laborious part of your job. You gotta work like you were like a marketing firm, okay? So that means if you have one client a day, you don't run home after that. You fill your book with models, okay? If a normal person was to work 8 hours as an entrepreneur, you're probably gonna have to work 10 to 12 until you can build your book and up your price. Thus, if you have one 3-hour client, you would better be booking at least 2 more models so that you have content, okay? Because it's almost like smoke and mirrors. People are going to assume that you are super busy because you're producing all this work. They do not have to know that those people are models, okay? So get some models in your chair, do impeccable work that then you can use to advertise yourself. Hold yourself accountable. If you are coming in for one client and dashing out of there, you are never going to build. If you are going to use a model, make sure, if you can, this is going to sound very superficial, but we are in a superficial world. Make sure that person is attractive. Make sure they have exactly the hair that you need to use. Don't call in somebody with box color just to fill that chair. Bring in somebody with beautiful, long, dimensional blonde. Bring in easy wins. Bring in redheads. Bring in platinums. Bring in things that are going to be appealing on your page, okay? And if you can even bring in people who want free hair color that are influencers, that are then going to create even more exposure for you, do that. That if it's not like your typical influencer that has like 10, 50, 100,000 followers, because sometimes those people have no influence. There are little micro influencers in your community. One that comes to mind for me is Berkey Cookie, okay? Like, she's just like this young girl. She's super cool. She has her own flavor. She almost reminds me of Hailey Baldwin, okay? I get more clients from that girl who has like 2,000 followers than we've seen in our salon from somebody who had 500,000 followers, okay? So don't underestimate the micro influencers, but bottom line, get good models in there. Be scrupulous types of models that you take, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's costing you money, it's costing you time, and it's costing you the cost of the product to do those models. So this is not free, but no client acquisition for big companies is free, okay? Big brands spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on client acquisition. So if you think that you're not going to have to spend any money on client acquisition, you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, and you definitely should be a booth renter. Number 5, take one day a week to do the whole enchilada. The hair, the makeup, the clothing, style your shoot, take them outside the salon, create an entire experience out of that, and get even more content for online. Being an entrepreneur is one of the greatest sports, and if you play the sport with the right strategy, discipline, like excitement, as the person sitting next to you, then you're gonna be able to maybe edge them out a little bit. But if you're coming in late to practice, if you're running one less lap, if you're sleeping till 7 and not getting up at 4:30 like Kobe Bryant shoot in the gym, he didn't have to do that. Getting in the game and being competitive is about doing the work when no one's watching. So do the friggin' work when no one's watching, okay? Put in 150% until you build your book. Anyway, I hope that you guys found this helpful. I hope that you can start to think about like your next 12 moves like a grandmaster chess player, okay? You have 30 days, some of you guys have 60 days before we get behind the chair. I want you to write down some good goals, okay? And follow through the necessary steps. If you need tools, if you need to wallpaper a wall, if you need to buy a backdrop, if you need to buy photography gear, get on it, okay? Don't be complacent. About different things people want to see, okay? Right now I'm working on braiding, trying to like expand my braiding portfolio. I borrowed a mannequin. Boom, I'm using the mannequin. Yeah, I can't touch anybody, but right now I'm using this time to expand on my skills that in a regular week I don't have time for. So just come up with little things to keep your you know, your clients entertained, like they're sitting home bored, okay? Throw them a bone. You know, like, just teach them some stuff. Give them education, whatever it may be. People are going to be so grateful to see it because they're bored. Some people are stressed out. And, like, if you can even just make them smile or teach them something or give them a little bit of hope or give them something to look forward to, they're going to be so grateful to you. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope that this was helpful. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, and I will see you again soon.